Hello everybody, my name is Storm5638 and welcome to a new series that we're going to be doing called the Game Maker series. What we're going to do is that we are going to be creating a video game using Game Maker Studio. If you don't know what Game Maker Studio is, it is basically a piece of software that allows you to make games through many different styles. The download link will be in the description below if you want to get it, but right now we are going to be creating a basic space shooter game, basically, kind of like Galaga. It's not going to have any fancy graphics. It's going to be very basic, as this is going to be your first game. In this tutorial, we will be focusing on movement, creating the sprites, objects, and rooms. So this is Game Maker. You have your sprites, sounds, backgrounds, everything you need to make a game. What we're going to do is that we're going to right-click on sprites. We're going to click on Create Sprite. And with Game Maker, I like to use prefixes with my files, so I will do SPR for my prefix, underscore, and then the name of my sprite, which is going to be the player. We're going to edit the sprite. Right here, we're going to click on this blank piece of paper right here, which says create a new sprite. We're going to make this 32 pixels by 32 pixels. We're going to press OK. Now we have image 0. This is going to be where our player is drawn. So we're just going to do, this is our drawing editor, I should say. And right now I'm on the straight line tool, and on colors left and right, left click, right click. So when you left click, it's going to be black. Right click, it's going to be white. So I'm just going to draw a straight line right here on the bottom, and then right here to the top, another one right here to the top, so it's going to look like a triangle. And then I'm going to press the paint bucket, then I'm going to right click, and it's going to be white. This will be our player sprite. This is what our player will look like in the game. And then for our origin right here, we're going to just press center, so when we place it in the room, it's going to be placed center in the room. Or not center of the room, it's going to be placed, where the origin is. And we're going to go to our objects folder. We're going to right click and create an object. Objects in Game Maker, basically it's coding your sprite of what it does. I choose programming over everything. I don't use any of this stuff unless I'm too lazy, but usually I will code. So I'm going to name this obj_player, again using that prefix for our files. And for our sprite right here, we're going to select SBR_player. We're going to click on add event. We're going to do create. Right here in the control tab, there's a tab called code here. We don't need to worry about the second one or the third one. They're very minimal. Just the first one we need, which is execute code. Now this is our code editor. We're going to put 3 slashes, very basic. It's going to tell the topic of coding. Usually it'll say execute code, but if you type in these 3 slashes, it's going to say something else. So we're going to say when the player is created. If we check mark this, instead of saying execute a piece of code, which it just said, it's going to say when the player is created. So it's very nifty to have in the Game Maker Studio. We're going to set one variable here for our movement, since we're going to be focusing on movement in this tutorial video. So we're going to say move speed, which is going to be the name of our new variable, and we're going to assign it or make it equal to 3. 3. There. Now you don't really need to use a semicolon, but I choose to, since I'm very used to using semicolons in programming. This is going to be our first variable we're going to make for our movement. We're going to add another event. It's going to be your step event. We don't do begin or end, it's just going to be step. And what step means is that it's going to check what your sprite is doing throughout the entire game. It's going to check certain conditions, and if they're met, they're going to do something. We're going to execute another piece of code. And then we're going to be making if statements. Now, if statements is a statement in code that says if a condition is met, then it's going to execute a piece of code, which will make the player do something. So this is perfect for our move example. So we're going to say if, then an open parenthesis, keyboard underscore check, and another open parenthesis, and we're going to say vk underscore left, close parenthesis, close parenthesis. They're going to do an open bracket, and a close bracket. So this is a full if statement. It does not have any code inside of it yet because it's not going to execute anything right now. But it's going to say if we are holding down the VK underscore left or the left arrow key, we're going to say x minus equals move speed. And remember that our move speed is equal to 3. Okay, so minus equal means that it's going to do, you can also say this, if you don't want to use x minus equals, you can say x equals x minus move speed. But I choose to use minus equals since it's easier. Minus equals move speed. We're going to copy this, we're going to highlight it, Control C, copy it, and paste it. But in front of the if, we're going to do else if, which is another if statement basically. And instead of VK underscore left, we're going to do VK underscore right. So if we're holding down the right arrow key, instead of minus equals, we're going to do plus equals, which is going to move right 3 pixels. So we basically have our code right there for our movement. And then we're going to create a new room. In the room folder, just right click, create room. We're going to rename this rm underscore level. The width and height is going to be 1024 by 768. And our speed, instead of 30, we're going to change it to 60, meaning 60 frames a second. Then we're going to go to objects, obj underscore player, select it right here, and then place it there. See, when it's the center of it, it's right on the point of where the lines intersect. So that's our origin right there. So we can move it all around. It's still going to stay in an intersection of 2 lines. We're going to press OK, and then we're going to start the game. Now it's going to compile the game, and once it's finished, it will run the game, essentially, of what you coded, what you did everything with it, what you placed in the room especially. So it's just about to be finished. So once it is, we're going to see a big window pop up like this. And as you see, this is where we placed our object player in the room. And if we press our left and right arrow keys, we can see the player moves. Very, very accomplishing. But if we go ahead and take it outside the room, it disappears, but we can come back. We don't want that to happen, but we will solve that in our next tutorial video. So if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more of our Game Maker series, please subscribe, as it will support this channel a lot, especially since we are starting out small. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.